Okay, let's talk about priors. If you are arrested for a DUI and then within 10 years of the date of your conviction, you get another DUI, not the date of your arrest, it's the date of your conviction. If within 10 years of that date you get a second DUI, that's considered a second. In other words, you have what they call a live prior. If you have a prior DUI conviction that is more than 10 years old, that's a stale prior. And stale priors can be taken into account by the judge in imposing a sentence. But the sentence itself is a first offense if you don't have any priors. So let's say you had a prior in 1999 and then you got a DUI in 2017. You do not have any live priors, so the most time you can do in jail for a standard first DUI is 6 months. A judge can't sentence you to 7 or 8 or 10 months, but he can take the stale prior into account in sentencing within the context of that 6-month sentence that you're eligible for. Judges, even though the sentence for a standard first DUI is 6 months in jail, I've never seen a judge impose that, ever. I just haven't. I heard of one that occurred in Napa Valley on the DUI lawyers listserv. We were talking about it a lot, and this was a kid who went into court on a first offense, and he got 6 months in jail. But the reason why was he was mouthing off to the judge and he was misbehaving in court. And so what the judge did was he sentenced him to 6 months. After spending 3 days in jail, the judge brought the guy back to court and he reduced the sentence to a sheriff work program, which is pretty much the way they handle it. So it's got to be within 10 years. Now, the number of priors that you have can make a real difference. If you have 2 priors, again, the likelihood that, well, if you have 1 prior, the likelihood that you're going to do any jail time is pretty low. If you have 2 priors, by statute, it's a minimum 120 days in jail with what they call 4019 credits. What you're looking at is half of that, 60 days in jail. If you have 3 priors, that's a wobbler. The DA can charge it as a felony or a misdemeanor. And a felony, you can go to prison. Typically speaking, with 3 priors in Santa Clara County, the statutory minimum, well, in California, the statutory minimum is 180 days in jail, which translates with credit to 90 days in jail. But sometimes some counties will actually sentence you to more than that, depending on the circumstances surrounding your arrest. So that's the difference between a live and a stale prior. If this is a first offense, I wouldn't worry about a stale prior too much. I really wouldn't. It's probably not going to even come up. But if you have multiple DUIs, and then they'll take into consideration any prior convictions that you have that are more than 10 years old. If you like this video, click like, click subscribe, or contact us at the phone number on the screen after I get off the screen, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you have.